real with Keita.
Right, with something on here. Hello. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today? This is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Thank you. So we just doing Freestyle Tuesday. Freestyle Friday sound better, but we're gonna stick with Tuesday because it's Tuesday. And I really didn't have any main topics to really talk about, so we're just gonna talk about a couple of different other topics. I got like 3 or 4 for you today. So, welcome in. I have Mr. Island on here with me today. Thanks for coming in, Mr. Island. They
As
call him
always.
right, his name, Mr. Island. So, I'm gonna give y'all time to come in. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you.
Like, share, comment, be involved.
That's right.
And just keep it real with Keita.
Hit the like button, subscribe. If you're not
Subscribe.
a subscriber, subscribe to the channel and then share this video out. So we just got different topics today. Hopefully I got to see the heading on what's what, but we'll go through it in a little bit. We'll give y'all time to come in here. So I got my hair up today. I pinned it up like this.
I see.
Feel like
Got the 8th grade ponytail going on.
hey, don't lie. I feel like I dream of Jeannie. You know how she used to do that back in the day. They don't know nothing about that. That's for, old school. They don't know nothing about I dream of
No,
Jeannie.
the older seasoned people.
Older. Yes.
Older seasoned people.
Exactly.
My kids like to say I'm old and cringy. I ain't going.
Yeah.
I ain't going. I'm old and cringy. I ain't. My grandfather died at 97, and you better not call him old. He'd say, I ain't know old is a mindset.
Exactly.
We just seasoned vets in the game. That's all it is. They trying to get like us.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
Oh, well, while they wait to come in, did you ever get to check out the Pop the Balloon episode?
we did. Me and my auntie watched it. It was good. He was cracking up laughing at you. I've been getting other stuff. I just ain't really been on there. So I'm going to still check it out. Because I did subscribe to his channel. So I'm going to look at other stuff that he got on there.
The episode for us was the Silver Fox episode.
Mm-hmm. In the costume.
Then they had episode 16 this week. It was BBW.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this first sold out crowd, 75 people. So I'm thinking about going Sunday.
Okay.
So he told everybody comment, like if you want to have another BBW. But he did say, I just watched this little clip. He said this was he had to do a little speech about you got to be more selective. But he was like, there was some people got on there got ratchet.
Oh, really? I'm
like, man, you can't ruin his show. Like he's not the only one doing that now. But I will give that young man his props. He does a very good show. He's all about respect. Like I've seen the other shorts, those Pop the Balloons, a lot of women and men be disrespectful and untactful. He don't go for that easily. He tells everybody ahead of time, like, be respectful, be quiet, do this, do that. And it's clean, it's fun, and be having food sometimes. You can bring your alcohol, just maintain yourself. Like, it's cool. It's really, like, I really went on there originally to support him.
Yeah.
Literally, just to support him. I went on there, something different. It was just spur moment, me just thinking different. I called him up, told him my idea about the Halloween show. I asked him to give me my credit for it, which he did, but I'm not tripping.
Right.
And I wanted to go in there with a twist because, people say all the time, whether male or female, it's supposed to be all about, your personality and who you are, not your looks and stuff. Well, I was like, well, Halloween, I'm Michael Myers. So you can't even get no vibe off me. You can't talk about my shoes or nothing because it's a costume. So that was my twist. And then I told him originally I was going to wear my mask the entire time. So I didn't want nobody even know my face. But it got hot. And then he said, well, I got to reveal you at one point. And I said, okay, I can do that. So that was the premise for me going on the show.
Yeah.
And anybody want to see it? CJ Too Cold, episode 15. Last time I looked, we had 34,000 views, 1,000 plus likes. Everybody said it was the best show they had seen.
Yeah.
And you recognize this for yourself. So I believe I was told that I put Pop the Balloon in Indianapolis on the map with my episode, and ever since then it's been gaining traction and going up. So I'm not trying to boast myself, but because I was
That's
just being
good.
real.
That's good. Gonna put Indy on the map.
I just want to be supportive. That's it. I just like
Yeah,
to help people.
you know we be left behind, so gonna put us on the map.
I mean, you know, we got Mike Epps try to do a little something, something. I give him his props. I love what Mike's doing for the city. He's been doing it, but now it's really gaining traction. He's buying homes. A lot of people don't know him, Dame Dash, and another person invested in Gary, Indiana, and trying to bring it back. And I actually
Hmm.
want to jump on that bandwagon. I want to. I've been thinking about getting my stuff together and owning some property up there. You know, near where they're going to be at, because they're talking about basically Mike coming up there and doing a certain amount of shows on a regular, and you know that's gonna bring economy and bring people back to the city, and they telling people, regular people, to
Yeah,
invest and everything like that. And that's what we need to do. A lot of people don't know Gary used to be the black mecca like Harlem. Like a
it
lot of
it
people.
it did. It don't went down a whole lot. It's a whole lot. So, and that'll be. I think that's awesome. Just to try to bring them back because it is pretty much left out. Because you got half of them that's here now from
Yeah,
Gary, more than half that's here. Even building up the economy for jobs and everything. Because I think they need that down there. Because they
well,
either go to Chicago or they come here for
I
just a
think I
better
think if you look
jobs.
over, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
What
I
you
was
say?
just saying for a better living and jobs, they normally just come here, either Chicago
Yeah,
or that. So,
yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Well, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say if you look over the course of the history of America, even back when like Rosewood, my grandmother said she had an uncle or great uncle who had a town like Rosewood and playing runabout. If you study your history, whenever blacks get together, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a lot of people know the Gap Band. That song, the famous song they started off with, "You Dropped the Bomb on Me." That was talking about the Tulsa, Oklahoma City bombing. And they
hmm
bombed the whole town and everything. But whenever blacks get together and create a black mecca like Harlem and all these other cities, they that's what they do. They destroy them. And what they did with Gary, in my opinion, is just my thesis, my synopsis, that they when it was a mecca and they started doing good, they took away all the paying jobs and said, let's see what happens now.
hmm
You know, where they know the only economy was illegal money. Now we can lock them up. All you
hmm
got is steel mills. That's it. And then
That's
we see
it.
what happens.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We used to go there especially when I worked my old job, it was union and we're connected with that union. So we used to go down there every, I want to say it was always around my birthday in December, but we had like Christmas parties and stuff down there, which was nice. But it was really not nothing down there. We drove around, just looking around, and I was like, they really don't have nothing here. So it'll be good. I'm happy for what he's doing. Just to try to bring the community back up. I'm happy for that. So
But
that's
anybody listening, look at investing, because if you get in now, you know, I told my friends when I was young and Hurricane Katrina hit, they thought I was crazy. I said, y'all, we should buy some property on the water near downtown. We can lease the land out and get paid for the rest of our lives. Man, you tripping. A hurricane just hit, man. I'm like, the land's going to be super cheap.
hmm
And it's an investment. And now New Orleans is coming back slowly but surely, you
yeah,
know. And if we had maybe 20, 30 acres near downtown, near
yeah,
the whatever Mercedes Benz Dome or Astrodome, whatever's down there, you never know how much money we can make in there. You lease it out to Walmart. Walmart put a distribution center down there, and we can be
yeah.
getting paid every month. We ain't doing nothing. We just own the land. But you know, that's when you gotta have the right group of friends and the right mind frame.
Yeah, you gotta pick the right people that have that same mindset as you. Because everybody ain't gonna have it or everybody too scared to move. Most
Precisely.
definitely.
Precisely.
Hmm.
Hence why I'm supporting keeping it real with Keita.
Yeah. We need to support each other.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna get started a little bit. Everyone, like I said, when you come in, please hit the like button and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. So, our first topic for tonight, um, we're going to talk about here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Um, it was a Planet Fitness on the south side of Indianapolis. They found a body in there. The guy went in Friday, and he was in the tanning booth, and he He was in a tanning booth. They found him today. They just found him today. And he was in there the whole weekend. To me, I'm not gonna say it was really foul play, but the story don't just add up to me because it makes Planet Fitness look bad. Because if he went in Friday, to me it seemed like every day you would check all of your equipment, making sure nobody's in the bathrooms, making sure nobody's in there before you leave up out of there, before y'all close. It seemed like that's what y'all would do just to make sure. But if you see the tanning thing down and all the other ones are up, it would make you want to check and be like, oh, well, somebody might be in here. They started smelling stuff a couple of days later, but y'all just spraying and y'all like, oh, it's nothing. People coming in there like, what is that smell? Oh, it's nothing. His family was looking for him since Friday. They seen the car in the parking lot and they kept going in there and they smelled the smell, but nobody was like, oh, no, we don't see him. So they did say he was prone to, using drugs, and they found a needle beside him. So even if that was the cause of it, still you would want to go and check your equipment. So that just lets you know after people work out. I hope a lot of people don't get sick out there that they don't check their stuff like they need to. So it just seemed like kind of foul play to me, but I don't know. I don't think nobody did anything to him. I just feel like it could have been resolved a little bit better than what it was. It shouldn't took from Friday to Monday for you to find a body in the tenant booth. What you got to say about it?
My sister had a good point. She said some people just don't be scared to get involved. Now, ain't no way you gonna tell me that over that long period of time, didn't nobody do their regular checks, do their job, in a
Yeah.
room, notice something, and even
Hmm.
smell something. I'm gonna lean with her. I think it was one of those things where people were like, because people are so scared to get involved because of consequences, not of lack of knowledge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you see the tanning bed down. Let's just say, like I said, I didn't really get the information to what you just said. But you go in there, you see a tanning bed down, and normally they're supposed to. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be up for people to
Hmm.
entry and all that stuff. You wipe them down and all that. And as a worker, you probably seen something, smell something like I don't want to deal with that. It could have been the lazy worker. I ain't cleaning up nothing. But you still, as a
Right.
human being, should be like, what is that? Like that ain't normal, you know.
Exactly.
Then other people might be like, I don't know what that is, but what if somebody in there dead? And then they get scared and they just want
Hmm.
to get to themselves, like the no snitching code and stuff like that. And it's just a sad situation to show you where, in my opinion, where we at in society.
Yeah.
Uh, I've seen countless videos where in New York's notorious for this because of the history of New York with gangs and mafia and stuff. Person be dead on the sidewalk, people just walking past like it ain't nothing. Person be sitting there dying, getting stabbed or shot, and people just keep walking past. And the sad part
Mm.
about society is that's kind of where we're at now. Like
Yeah.
that black lady came out last year talking about some dude beat her up because he wouldn't give her a number. She wouldn't give him his number.
Hmm.
She wouldn't give her his number, or she wouldn't give him her number. And none of the black men stepped up to help her or nothing like that. The sad part is that is the world we live in now. People do not
Yeah.
want to get involved for various reasons. Not saying it's okay, but we have to be conscious of that. If
Yeah.
that man had an addiction or whatever, and that's true, and that causes death, that's sad, you
Hmm.
know. But if he knows himself well enough, maybe he should have left the tan a bit. Maybe he got high and wanted to get tan or whatever. Maybe that was his regular routine. But
Hmm.
in a sense, you always have to have self accountability. So if you know that, and, doing drugs or whatever hard drugs is a risk of dying, you should maybe left a note. I don't know. Just being more accountable for yourself, knowing that the world is like this is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He also left a son behind, and the family is pretty upset, and they want more information. Thanks for coming in, Reality Checks. They want more information about it. Period. I mean, because it gets you puzzled. Like, if this is not his natural routine, or if he do go to the gym, like you said, why is it why is it like that? Like, why did it happen in that cause? But my condolences to his family um, for the loss of him and just how the situation was handled. So um, that's sad. That's really sad. And hopefully, I heard the tanning beds go off like after 15 minutes. You have to reset it or whatever. So I hope he wasn't in there cooking that long. So for as long as it did. Let me see. I wonder if they had a protocol to check. They should have had one because normally when you have places like that, they are supposed to go through and check and make sure that everything is okay. Um, Everything is closed down, everything is wiped down in situations like that. So I'm quite sure they did have a protocol to do that. Like he said, it was probably a lazy worker was like, I ain't about to agree to do all that because it's always about safety and checking to make sure ain't nobody left in the bathroom or anything else. You always want to go in there just to make sure because it's all about safety at the end of the day.
You said reality checks are in. I'm pretty sure even if we simplify it, they got to go around and collect towels. They got
Mm-hmm.
to go off and turn off light switches. You
Yeah.
know, so they got protocols. It's just the workers, for whatever reason. I'm not down to nobody. I'm not trying to harp on nobody. People are human. Fear is real. False energy appearing real, and people sometimes just don't care. Some to them, it's their job, and
Exactly.
they come in to make some money, and that's it. And I'm not gonna fault nobody on that because when you teach your kids when you go to work, it's just work. That don't mean no empathy or nothing like that. But I'm just saying people have when you plant a seed like that in a person's mind, then you factor in them being human and emotions and stuff. I'm not gonna knock somebody and say you cold hearted for not just doing this. I'm just like some people being a mindset, it's a routine and this, and they just was lazy that day or whatever. That's just my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm pretty sure protocols are set in place. Like I said, even going around getting towels, and I used to be a Planet Fitness member, and yeah, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they have to go through every room to make sure at least all the guests are out.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I mean, if you see a tenant bed down, and I'm pretty sure it had to be down, because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if it was up, ain't
Y'all
nobody
would.
gonna walk in a room and see somebody laying there
Yeah.
and come back the next day and they shift start again and see somebody laying there still. They ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna react. So it was probably down, but yet and still, I'm pretty sure by routine the pretending beds are supposed to be up to show that they're open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're free to use. So it's just a sad situation.
It is. It's just sad. So, like I said, prayers out to his family. And so me and my mother, we were talking earlier. We were talking about um, the different generations, the names that they have for these generations. I'm gonna just go through the list. I'm gonna name them, and we were just talking about the generation that we're in now, which is considered Generation Alpha, and how they are so different and they don't like to listen. Um, my daughter, even though she's a mess, she's not actually Generation Alpha, but um, she's considered in. Let me see what group is she considered in. Generation Z. So I'm gonna just go through the names and then I'm gonna just talk a little bit about this, and I'm gonna let Ralph comment if he wants to on this. So we were just talking about them and how they are so different from all the generations that have passed um, so far, and how it's different. So I was doing a little bit of research on it, and I'm gonna give you like how many people was actually like born in that generation and how it is different now. And just to get y'all opinion on it. So I'm gonna start off generation born 1945 and before that is considered traditionalist or silent generation. Um, the baby boomers were born between 1946 and 1964. Generation X was born between 1965 and 1980, which would be considered us. Millennials were born 1980 to 1994. Is that you? Are you a millennial?
I'm a comment. I'm a because
Okay, and Generation
I got a stickler with these titles, but go ahead.
and Generational Z were born 1995 to 2009. And then the generation we're in now, which was 2010 to 2024, um, is Generation Alpha. So we were just going through, we were talking about how everything was. I'm going to go through the how many people were born in between that time. So the traditional, they ain't got that on there. But the baby boomer generation, it was 68.59 million. Generation X was 65.37 million. The millennials, 72.24. That's when everything was popping, but they was getting it on. They was having them babies.
Let's get it
Generation
on.
Z, yeah, they was having them. Generation Z, 69.58 million. And then Generation Alpha is only 38.55 million. And it said Generation Alpha is the smallest generation ever born. It's 100 within the last 100 years. So they are way less than all the other generations born. So my theory, this is just mine. Um, I was wondering, was it because of a lot of killings that's going on with that generation? Is it a lot of killing? Let me see.
Well, you said born, so we're not talking about dying.
Yeah, born. It says it was born in between that time, but it just left it as that. I'm wondering why. I mean, especially like with let me move this.
I don't have an
Um,
answer for that.
are they? Is it a lot of abortions? Were they just too busy focused on education? Um, or they just feel like, oh, I'm not considered having kids at that time because it's 2010 to 2025. So, why is it so? Why is it less than all the other generations that were born or considered, in between that time? So, why is it even less than that? What's your thoughts?
So my first comment is I love doing this. So
I'll
our
let you talk before I answer her question.
okay, our parents' generation, they were originally called the millennials. They're the generation that read the baby boomers were slash the millennials. They're the generation that changed it as they got older. Because if you go back and look, if anybody remembers, if you was born in the 80s, we were the Y2K generation. We were
Mm-hmm.
we were Y2K. No Y2K, oh, internet's gonna go down, everything's gonna go down. We were Y2K. Everybody forgets that. It was
Mm-hmm.
changed for those our parent generation because they got older. They didn't want to accept their age because they came from the 70s and partying and they were always going to be young. So it has changed. If you don't believe me, you can Google. So
Yeah, it's changed.
I'm a stickler on that because people just go by that and like, oh, we're Generation Z. No, you were not. I'm an 80s baby. But to answer the question directly, it's because this generation has learned from the problems and they're focused more on self and money.
Mm-hmm.
These kids, whether it's the internet gives them, and I tell people this all the time, this new generation, and even if you go back to the 2000 babies, let's go back to the 2000 babies, that means they're 24 by now. They didn't
Yeah.
have to provide the same protocol we were taught, either military, sports, or college. I remember growing up when all people talked about was being a nurse. Guys, if you ain't a drug dealer, you just get a job at Allison's or something. You get a job. That's what we were
Mm-hmm.
taught. This
Yeah.
generation has the opportunity daily to say, I don't have to go that route. I can go on the internet and make money.
Yeah.
And with that, with seeing our parents and grandparents go through having a lot of kids and then growing up seeing their parents, with maybe a couple less siblings, but seeing how people struggle and seeing how maybe their parents didn't live out their dreams or whatever, They like, shoot, I can live out mine.
Mm-hmm.
So they have different opportunities. So it's like, I ain't about to be having all these kids. And even if they do have kids, they like, shoot, one, two, maybe three. It's relationship based sometimes. You got the men or females where, okay, I had one kid young, maybe two kids young. Shoot, I don't want another one. I see how hard it was. And again, they have different avenues to make their income. So I believe, yes, it's went down. And then my last thing is that I don't think a lot of people think about is genetics. The
Yeah.
food that we have been ingesting, our grandparents had organic food, for real organic food.
Yeah.
Then as it went down, you had the government touching more food. And so genetics are different. In my opinion, there is no man or woman alive that's built genetically the same as the grandparents. The
Not
grandparents
at all.
be able to drink turpentine to get rid of a cold. And if you drink some turpentine right now, or even take some Vicks, you're going to be in the hospital, period. So we're not even built the same. So this generation is like, look, we get money. We connected to people throughout the world, internet. I'm traveling. I'm living life. I can do this. I can do that. I don't have time. They don't have the mindset of when I turn 18, go to college. When I turn 18, go to the military. When I turn 18, do this. They like, shoot, I can live my dreams out. I can be a rapper. I can be an actress. I can be a model. And they can do it. They have the tools to do it. We weren't even taught the things. These kids don't have to be taught. They can learn what they want to learn for themselves through the internet.
Through the
You don't
internet.
have to have an uncle or a father to teach you how to change the oil. You can go to YouTube, go buy the tools, and go change your own oil.
Right.
So with that being said, yeah, they're going to have less kids. They have more opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna leave it like this. I read somewhere a long time ago, or read or seen a video, I don't know. It said, what's the one thing poor people can do to enjoy life and to reduce stress that's free? Have sex. That's why a lot of them older generations had lots of kids, because other than work, the only thing they could do and afford to do was have sex.
Yeah.
And I don't care what parent you are, whether you're single or married or got a co-parent, you're going to take care of your kids if you're a parent. You're going to find a way. So these kids is like, shoot, I ain't buying no kids. The average, I think the average young person nowadays, and I did say I was done. I'm sorry, I'll be done with this. I don't have no statistics to back this. But I think the average young child born from 2000 on up probably has a kid between the age of roughly 22, 23 to 30.
Yeah.
Whereas most people I know, and prior to me, my grandparents' generation on down to me, was some kids from 13 on average to 19 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
Multiples at that.
Yeah.
So, hey, you have a kid at 20. I had my first child at 22. My next child didn't come for 6 years later.
Right.
And that was through a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is you go to the next generation, they like, shoot, I'm cool.
A lot of them are. And reality checks, to answer your question, this is the last year for generational alpha. So 2025 is going to be a whole nother generation. However, abortions were a big option now. Yeah. If abortions are eliminated, more children would have been here. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. And I agree with that too. Abortions have a lot to do with it. And like he said, because even with my younger cousins, like he said, it always started off, even both grandparents, they had between 6 and 8 kids. Um, with my mother them, when it came to my mother them, they only had 2 or 1. So they didn't have a lot of children. So when it came to us, a lot of us pretty much had more. I think it was only 2 of us that had 1, but a lot of us had 4 or more with our generation. And under us, our younger cousins don't have none. And they like, I'm living my life. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what I want to do. So in a way, I understand how they feel, but in a way, it's still cutting off our generation. You see what I'm saying? It's cutting off our generation because we're not being fruitful and multiplying. And then once our kids is gone, And then we do have like some cousins underneath us that my cousin had his kids. After they get big and out the way, we don't have another generation because we're going to be dead and gone. So we don't have another generation to follow after that. Now on my father's side, they probably had like a little bit more, but just on my mom's side, it's just like at a standstill where they feel like I don't want no kids, and you can't blame them, but it's just like our bloodline will be leaving, and it's gonna leave like real quick, and I can't really blame them on that. And then it took us to push them to go forward with education, to get the job that you want, because we didn't have that. So we try to push them to have the things that we didn't have. I can't say if it's right. I can't say if it's wrong because I want you to follow your dreams. Yeah, I won't bring, I'm not going to push you to have kids. I tell mine all the time, please wait a little bit. Let me get all mine out the way. Let me live my life a little bit before I do have grandkids. But it's still up to them on what they actually want to do. So I see that a lot. And I mean, I don't know. The generations is getting smaller and smaller. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Miss reality checks are in. I don't know if it's female or male. I'm assuming it's a female.
Female. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You say, however, abortions were a big option now. If abortions were eliminated, more children would have been there. The first thing I want to say I learned years ago might not be relevant now is a lot of people don't know, it's just not reported, but it was more white people having more abortions than blacks. I think culturally, black people aren't big on abortions and all that. Now, what I will say is when they came out with Plan B, which I don't technically consider an abortion, I think that's where it was like blacks start stepping up as a culture and women start being like, look, shoot, I ain't about to have no baby. We go with this Plan B. With that being said, like I said, you know, the 80s babies with kids, that's the 80s babies to me, it was when it was talked about kids having kids, even though we know it started with our grandparents. So again, kids having kids, you know, I got a cousin who had a kid. I had two cousins who had kids in high school, and they grandparents by their 40s. You know, and what I've learned is the ones who didn't, or they might be grandparents now, maybe, but it seems like a lot of the ones who had kids in high school, they continued that. It continued in their family. Mm-hmm. And what I'm trying to get at is it's going back to what you see. What's your normalcy? What do you see in your family as normal and what's consistent with you know what's considered okay? Because if your parents had a kid in high school, they can't get mad at you if you having sex and had a kid in high school. And like most kids, we all been kids. First thing we want to say is, well, you did this. How you gonna get mad if I did this? We've all done that to some aspect, whether we said the words or acted it out. So when it comes to these young people having kids, they more like, first of all, even if they only had 2 or 3 siblings, I come from a family of 3. I'm the youngest one. We came up, we like, ain't trying to have no kids. You know, I grew up a young man who grandfather had 2 marriages. I was taught by women and men that if you have unprotected sex and a woman gets pregnant and it's yours, it's your child, take care of it. No matter your age group, it is what it is. You grow up and you see your parents, whether they struggled or not, but you see your parents not living the life that they might have wanted to live. And again, with these options that these kids has, and again, like we didn't have options. I know we're kind of reiterating and saying the same thing over again. I'm just kind of piggybacking off of Keita. Yeah, these young kids, like, I got an option. You know, let's talk to the women first. Shoot, even if I don't want to use condoms, shoot, I can go to CVS and spend $35 and get me a Plan B. Mm-hmm. Come on, Joe, let's get it in. And then you got their influences. I ain't even gonna go straight to music because it's not just music. Everybody sticks on all these rappers and they promoting it. No, it's the internet in general. You know, it's
also your peers too.
Your peers. Yeah, your peers. Like you might have, you know, it ain't no one person I know, male or female, that whenever teenagers didn't have a fast friend who somebody wasn't fast. Like we know that's just what it is. These kids now have a multitude of that strictly, forget the school, the internet. They might have a friend in Europe they talk to online all the time, and they're fast. But what I'm getting at is they know the repercussions of what they're doing. And it's like, you know what? If I can do what I want to do, but I can not be accountable for the problem by eradicating it, and it's not illegal, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not looked down upon. Because see, when we were growing up, it was looked down upon you getting pregnant. I remember when people got sent out of state for being pregnant. Said you were going to school somewhere else or something, and you were shunned by the family or something. You know, that was my mother them generation. It came to our generation, it was you gonna step up and be a parent.
Mm-hmm.
This generation, like, I ain't got to deal with none of that. I go take this pill, and that's it. And then they seen these young boys from not having fathers. They seen these young boys who ain't trying to step up to the plate. Well, shoot, forget this. Then I'll go get an abortion. So I'm not gonna say abortions didn't play a factor. And you're right, reality checks in. It is depending on the environment you live in, and that's exactly what I'm saying. What you seen as your reality. And I'll say this, Daniel, probably every show, Mosquito. You know I do. Your perception of reality is your reality, but that does not mean it is reality.
Right.
So if you perceive in your family that if you had a parent who had kids in high school, that it's okay to do it, your parents did it, it's something normal, then you might be more comfortable not getting a plan B. You might feel at that moment you're a teenager, you're in love, you done had sex, and you've been with this boy 3 months, and we're in love, and you get pregnant. Oh, I'm gonna keep it because we're gonna be a family forever. That's comfortable for you. Whereas if you're a child who ain't seen that and you get pregnant, and you're a young man who got a baby on the way, you like, nah, we're gonna raise this baby. So yes, you're exactly right. What we're saying is the environment you're in. Even if you're talking about neighborhood, even if you're talking about city. But with these new kids, they're not limited like we are. They are limited to the internet, and the internet is the world. So if you're seeing Krishan Rock, Blueface, I don't know what that girl do. She's social. All I know is that girl pregnant. She was smoking, drinking, still living her lifestyle. You know, and they seeing this, and she's having a baby, and she's popular. She's paid off of doing nothing. Well, I can do it too. All I got to do is get on the internet, get likes, and get famous, and I can still have my baby and still live my life. Forget what they say. I don't care if they judge me, and they really care. So their complexity is way different from ours. They dealing with a whole lot, but decision making wise, it's either or for them, and it's not a loss. In our generation and prior, it was losses. You were shunned. You were talked about. Mm-hmm. You know, it was harder for help. You know, the only thing a woman knew back in the day getting pregnant, whether it was from our generation or prior, was you had the system to help you. This generation is like, oh, the system's already there. I grew up on the system. Or even if you didn't, I can rely on it because I know how to live, because I'm going to get housing, I'm going to get food stamps, I'm going to get Social Security, or I'm going to get child support, and we're going to make it work off that. Then, on the side, maybe I can sell some weed. Maybe I can, if I ain't selling drugs and doing illegal, I can work a little part-time job, keep my food stamps, and as long as I can buy my kids Jordans and stuff, I'm content because they living off of an ideal of a lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then just to have Krishan back, because she came out here and she was exposing herself. She had a lot of toxic going on in her family. Yes, that was going on in her family that she brought to the internet, and people seen that. I feel like she started actually paying attention to the views, because a lot of people were against what she did. You probably had a small percentage that condoned what she done, but I'm glad she had a baby, waking up. She done gave her life to Christ. She's trying to change her whole lifestyle. I'm glad, and she's working through the issues that she has. So that's kudos to her. She did start off a hot mess, and she's trying to get better. Just speaking on that, I just wanted to bring that up. I'm just happy for her, because I was looking at her like, what the heck? But I'm glad she's changing her lifestyle around. Okay, so we're going to move on. So our next topic is how the U.S. culture is taboo to other older cultures, such as eating animals, cats and dogs, versus eating pork, raccoon, possums, because here in the U.S. they feel like that's okay, versus eating cats and dogs. So I did some research on it. Mr. Island had me, he brought this up, and I was like, dang, I gotta do some research. I wasn't trying to work this hard today, but I did. I was doing my little research on this. And then I also found, and I'm gonna just bring this up. It got to do with just cultures and tradition and um just how it's taboo here also. I'm gonna bring this up. I'm not gonna really go too much into detail before we start talking about eating the cats and dogs. I did do some research. I'm gonna sit up there and give y'all a little bit of knowledge and even taboo when it comes to monogamy. So we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna give y'all a little research just in case somebody gets on here and don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna get on here and just talk about it. So I did Google some stuff, Siri some stuff, just to sit up there and see. I didn't call you Siri. I wasn't calling you actually, but I got on there and did some research and stuff like that. So I did find interesting other cultures and have traditions where it comes to eating placenta. Placenta is what's inside of a woman when she's having a baby. After she has the baby, they pull the placenta out. It gives the nutrients to the child while it's in her stomach. It's in the sac in her stomach. So it gives the nutrients to the child where the child eats off of the placenta the whole time she is carrying the child. So just in case y'all didn't know what that meant, so I did some researches. Other cultures eat the placenta. I don't think they do that here in the
Hold on.
US.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please let me interject. At one point that I know of in the South, it was more relevant. But
The
that was a
South here
delicacy.
in the
Yeah,
US.
yes. And this is me growing up. I heard this, and in the bushes or whatever. It was a delicacy, and there was a tradition to eat the placenta
Mm-hmm.
in the South. They would cook it and eat it.
Yeah, cooking and eating.
Keep it for the hair. Put it on the child's hair.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our own little thing here. That's all I'm going to go right ahead.
Just a little bit, because I mean it got deep, but I just kept it at just eating it. I didn't really get involved in
Other
the
uses.
other things that they do for the placenta. Some, even the Mexicans, like they bury it and do all kind of other stuff, but I didn't go in detail with that. When I do my topic on women rights, I will probably talk a little bit more about that when it comes to other things that they do with the placenta. But just eating it, I'm gonna just go through and let y'all know some of the stuff. Other cultures such as China and Vietnam, they are big with eating the placenta. China traditional in these cultures for the mother to prepare and eat the placenta is they boil it first to make a broth, and they believe that improves the milk production. And they probably do. Maybe I should have did that a long time ago. Um, the milk production when it comes to feeding your baby, breastfeeding your baby. So it probably, helped that out or whatever. I should have researched that having kids. And then in Japan, they believe eating the placenta increases the woman's fertility. So it's different things, different traditions that they do. Also in Vietnam, they do the same thing. So I found it interesting just start researching different stuff, and just to know that um why is it so taboo for that before we move on to eating the animals? Because I wrote some stuff down for that too. But why is it so taboo here? Like he said, he heard of it. I've heard of them taking the placenta out and getting the nutrients out of it, but not actually eating the placenta after birth. I have not heard of that, or doing everything else after birth. Um, which is kind of weird to me, but what you think?
I like to say different instead of weird. That's the first thing I teach my kids that. Because weird is one of the popular words a lot of people say nowadays. Oh, that's weird.
That's weird. Yeah, you hear them say that a lot. That's weird.
It's so irritating.
It is. It is.
But I taught my kids growing up, all my kids, like, don't ever say something is weird because it's different. You
Because
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's deep with me with that, but we're gonna stick to topic. But don't say something's weird because you either don't understand or it's taboo. It's just different, because when we travel overseas, we think stuff's weird, but definitely it's like you're weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Mm-hmm.
the eating of the placenta and everything, I mean, if you look at it scientifically, it's nutrients. It's what gives life to a baby.
Yeah.
So it's only so even ingesting it, prepared the right way, it's only going to do the same thing. And I'm pretty sure in the wild some animals do it too, and we are technically animals. With that being said, no, I wouldn't eat a placenta. I want to say that first. I mean, I eat some exotic stuff, but that's just a little too far from my comfort zone. It's
You
not even
said,
about taboo or nothing. It's just comfort. Like I done seen babies born. I'm cool. I'm cool. But yeah, like I said, growing up, I heard that, and I heard like the word delicacy. Like it's a traditional thing, just like chitlins, which we'll touch on later. But it was common at one point.
Mhm.
Traditional at one point. But as we know in the Black culture, we lose things when grandma died.
Yeah, a
And
lot, a
I'm,
lot of things.
and I'm gonna end it right there. Yeah, dogs do it after birthday.
So they eat it after birthing too. Because I know they just take it out, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they make money off of it, especially when the hospital keeps it. I feel like they just
Ooh,
take it and make
that's
money off of
that's
it.
another
But
topic here.
it is.
But
It's another topic because
ooh.
I was young having kids, so I didn't know. You know better, you do better. But
Mhm. But
um,
dogs also animals in the world. Period. If they see one of the kids won't make it or think they won't make it, they'll kill the kid.
yeah, they do. They'll kill them off.
They'll kill the kid.
Yeah.
But if it's life, like we saying placenta, they'll eat the placenta. Like you
Hmm.
said, maybe it is to help the animal, for fertility reasons. We don't know. We ain't no dog, we ain't no cat. Hey, cuz, that's my cousin Keisha done tapped on. And she's in the medical field, so she knows. Stem
Hi,
cell
Keisha.
moving your
Thanks for
DNA.
coming in. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
uh but yeah, the placenta thing, it's a like we said, it's taboo here overall. But I pose to ask you this question, Keita, with just what we've been talking about, would we think of it as being wrong to do it? You know what I mean? Like even if you think it's taboo, the health reasons and the nutritional reasons and knowing animals in the wild do it, you know, knowing something is taboo because you was raised to believe it, but then when you just think about the scientific aspect, is it wrong to do it? Like
I
if
wouldn't
it's
say it's wrong. It's just that we wasn't taught that it was something that we were supposed to do anyway. I don't say it's wrong because there's nothing wrong with tapping into other cultures. It's just
right,
that we're not accustomed to it. So we look at it like, ooh, I ain't doing that. So I just don't feel like it's wrong though. I feel like I said, I was young, didn't know. If I would have done more research back then, I probably would have done some stuff differently too. Especially with the growth of my kids, having them grow up, and if it was something that I know that was going to help them, yeah, I would have probably drunk it or ate a piece of it or did something to it. So it looks
look at it like
disgusting, but
look at it like this. Scientifically, how do we know eating the placenta don't help with postpartum, help with
right,
the healing of the woman?
yeah,
We don't know these things because the person that controls the information that we receive is not our friend.
hmm,
We don't know if they taking it from us for them, like my cousin said for stem cells. How do we know that we're not supposed to eat the placenta for the woman to eat it? Even the man. How do we know
mm.
that's not there for us to help us heal, to help the body heal? We don't know because stem cells help
Yeah.
the body heal. We
And
we
see,
don't know.
I read something about that. That's why I said I didn't go far into detail, but other countries, like one of the cultures, other countries, they were saying they use it for medicine that we don't know nothing about. So that's why I said I'll talk about it next time because I was just looking up the eating part, but it was a lot of information pertaining to that I would like to know more about. So it was very good. It was interesting just to learn more about this that I didn't take the time to learn when I was younger. So
I'm gonna say this because I'm pretty sure you ready to move on to the next up. My cousin did say just like birth and standing up, and per Eastern medicine, you should not consume anything cold after birth for 20 days. Go ahead, cuz teach us something. I was gonna say this. I'm about to be a cut. I'm gonna just say it. With us black folk, and I don't eat much fried food. You fry that mug, we probably won't even care. You put some bread on that thing, put in some hot grease, and don't tell us what it is. Put some hot sauce on it. We eat that percent of. I'm sorry, I just think it's true.
you're like it's vegan, fried on
Hey,
the
hey, you tell somebody that's some chicken. When they're fried some placenta, put some
mm-hmm.
seasoning on that. Everybody love that seasoning salt. Put some seasoning salt on there. Put some
Exactly.
garlic powder. Put garlic powder and garlic pepper and some
Yeah,
lemon pepper. Everybody put lemon pepper on everything. And you put all that on there and put some hot sauce on there. And be like, look, I got dinner. Everybody in the house eating placenta and don't even know.
exactly.
They ain't got a cold for 3 years.
Using it as broth. Exactly.
We ain't catch coronavirus. we eating placenta over here.
Exactly.
You just don't know. You don't know.
You're right. You don't know. So it's just like, wow, you never know. So
But the president said drink bleach. I digress.
and some people did that. So some people, I said they don't lost their mind. They was drinking that bleach like, oh, it's gonna help. I said, see, they don't lost their mind. This man done told them drink some bleach, and they like, okay.
Man, we're gonna have to talk about him on that subject a whole nother episode because man, I got these coworkers I work with. But anyway, you know how I get, so I'm gonna just stop right there.
Yeah, that's true. She said if you drink cow milk, you could definitely eat placenta. Yeah, that's true.
Well, you're a fool if you drink cow's milk. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's true. But
Because
some people
cousin's
do.
educated. Cousin's educated. She knows medical food.
Yeah.
Now
I'm
you should
I am too reality checks. I am
listen. Reality checks. You should be naturally. I'm lactose intolerant. I love ice cream. No, leave me alone. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But scientifically, you should be lactose intolerant. And this is what I tell everybody. In the wild, what other animal, and you can Google it, you can YouTube it, get back to me, whatever. What animal do you see walking up to another animal and drinking milk from it? Naturally. And the milk we drink from cows is not their milk, it's pus.
Yeah, it's pus.
Everything I'm talking about is fat.
I tell my kids all the time. And like you said, when you went back and said they bodies changed, that's why. Because they drinking that pus. And that's why this generation is totally different from when we came up. They whole body frames are different. That's why these teenagers looking like they halfway grown nowadays. So
man, touching on milk, and I'm gonna be done. Because this always bothered me, and I just want to put this out there because I just want to see if some people. I want people to hear it, and I want people to comment if they feel like commenting, because we love the comments.
she said she's seen it. Cats to dogs, she's seen it.
I guarantee it's a small percentage. I ain't saying none. I never say none, but you don't see it. You ain't gonna see your pet cat walk up to a dog, giving birth, and say, "Give me some of that milk." But you're right. You're right. I've seen it too. Reality checks. What was I saying? God, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? What was I saying, Keita?
You didn't really get into it yet, so.
We was talking about milk.
Yeah, we was talking.
What I say? Lactose intolerant.
We was talking about pus. Pus was the last thing.
Man, I can't remember. Shoot, it's something big to us. Something I've been stuck on about milk because I don't drink milk. Oh, no, I can't remember. I'm sorry, y'all. Usually I don't get off track, but
if it comes back, just bring it back up again. That's all right.
Keita and Auntie know they say so much stuff that triggers so many thoughts in my head. And I got ADHD, so my brain be everywhere. So I apologize, y'all. But go ahead, Keita. I'm sorry.
With it. So we're gonna get with the cats and dogs. And I'm gonna just give y'all a little background on what I read before we even get into the conversation again. Just knowing the different, like I said, with the different cultures and stuff. I did do a little research on that. Where are the cows to give us the milk? There's only a few cows that I seen left. I ain't seen too many. You go a little bit here and there, you'll see a few cows, but I don't know. Dogs and cats. About the dogs and cats. The dogs and cats here it's and a lot of it is depends on what country you are in and if it's legality. Of course, here in the U.S. they make it legal to eat cats and dogs. So um, it says the cat and dog meat are consumed in some countries, like in Asia, Africa, Europe. It's basically, like I said, the legality of eating them varies by country. Um, Dog meat in the 21st century is eaten in Cambodia, China, India, Indonesia, Ghana, Laos, Nigeria, North Korea, Switzerland,
Laos,
and Vietnam.
Laos, mosquito, Laos.
Laos. Okay, you heard them. Laos. I've never heard of that country, but Laos. Okay. And then the cat meat is normally eaten in some countries in Asia, Africa, and Europe. They also consider it traditional to eat to eat in some countries, others to consider it taboo. While cat meat were sometimes eaten during wartime, poor habitation, and harvest, like harsh winters in Central Europe, cats were known as roof rabbits during and between World War I and II. In the U.S., of course, we consider it taboo primarily because there are widely variety viewed as companions, which I'm not really a big animal person. I'll say that. My family do have dogs. I used to love cats when I was little. My mother never wanted me to have a cat, although I did sneak a cat in. She never knew about it, I don't think, because she didn't beat me for it. But because my neighbor had a cat and she had kittens and I wanted one so bad and I snuck it in and put it in the basement. I was like, she probably found out because I didn't hear it meow or nothing. So she probably found out and got rid of it, but she didn't beat me for it. She probably wanted to say, girl, you hard headed. But anyway, I'm not really, we didn't grow up with animals, so I'm not really an animal person. A lot of people do consider it as companions. Um, it's
Family.
unethical here for somebody to consider eating a cat and dog versus a possum, a raccoon, or pork. Pork is a commonly consumed meat with established culinary traditions, despite some religious restriction against it. Um, in the mainstream America, it is not considered taboo because a lot of people do eat it. In religious groups like Judaism and Islam, strictly prohibit
Judeo.
its consumption of that. So that's a little bit of the research that I did about eating cats and dogs versus pork. Now I'm not one, and I guess because I am here in the US, you're not gonna see me eating possum, raccoon. I do eat pork. I strayed away from it a lot more. I don't eat it as much, but I love my bacon. But possums, raccoons, cats, dogs, rats, whatever, you're not going to see me touch it anyway. When my grandmother used to make coon for Thanksgiving, no, I'm not eating that at all. So you would not see me touching anything like that because it's disgusting. That's to me. Now I do, and like you brought up chitlins before. Yeah, I grew up off of eating chitlins, KYs, whatever y'all want to call it. I did grow up off eating that, and I do like it. I haven't cooked it in 4 years, um, but I did like it. They say it's pig crap, intestines. I don't care. It was good to me. So I put some hot sauce on that baby, eat some coleslaw, call it a day. But that's just me. That's just me. So what you got to say about
So, as you said, like you said, all those animals in America, we accept.
it? She said booty
Booty
noodle.
noodles, Miss Love. Hold on now, bro. Miss Love, I love your name, first of all. Miss Love, I love it. Now, no Diddy, because I know you ain't related to brotherly love. I assume you ain't. So no Diddy. Pause. You gotta say
Oh,
pause. So Miss Booty Noodles. I don't even know what the hell Booty Noodles is. I don't even comment on Booty Noodles. I don't want no Booty Noodles. I don't want nothing about no Booty Noodles.
right.
But you know, how do I want to go with this? So when you know better, you do better. Let's start off by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
We know culturally, even in America, if you want to talk, let's. I always try to keep black, white, Asian. I don't like to. I like to separate that stuff and keep it as a whole. So we're gonna talk
Yeah.
American. So American cuisine, and we're talking facts here, America itself was created as a melting pot. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Indians, British, blacks, whites, all that stuff, whatever. So when it comes to eating, you have to think. Reality is a lot of dishes were brought from other countries first before you go to anything. And the ones that were already here were taboo to the ones who came here. So then you got to ask, okay, who was the real ones that was taboo? The ones that was already here eating what they were eating, or the ones that came? So let's snowball effect, travel through time, fast forward. We only know what we know because we're programmed to think what we know from media, and who controls our media is not our friend. I like to word it like that. Now, the pig, I'm going to start there. The pig is literally the nastiest animal walking the earth. It does not have sweat glands. If you know anything about the pig, it secretes all the poisons and toxins through its feet. It lives in its own fecal matter. It will eat anything, literally anything. It has parasites living in its flesh. No matter how good you cook some meat, you marinate it, you cook it on high temps, it does not kill the parasites. It is the nastiest animal. But all I heard was KYs. When I arrived here from New York, all I heard was how good they were. So I bought a bucket from Kroger. After the thaw, I opened it up and heard and closed the bucket. My point exactly. Let's keep it going. Thank you, Miss Reality Checks In. I threw it out. No one told me about that part. Now you about to really be happy you threw them things out when you finish hearing my spiel.
That smell.
Let me fix my hood.
Like,
So think about it like this. If you know better, you do better. If I told you all that about a pig, now I'm going to go to the seawater real quick. Then I'm going to get back to my whole spiel about food. And I only say this because a lot of people don't know this. Catfish, love catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Love freshwater catfish. But the catfish is the pig of the sea. A catfish will literally eat anything. If a catfish can get big enough to eat you as a human being, I'm 6'2" and a half. Catfish can get big enough to eat me.
Right.
But they are bottom feeders. They're the only fish in the world that has a period because it has to secrete the toxins.
Mm-hmm.
But we love catfish. Now, if we're talking scientific fact, if we're talking about common sense, not morality or emotionality, you telling me you'll eat a catfish and you'll eat them up and you'll eat a pig, but then saying somebody eating a dog, which you know what a dog consumes, it ain't eating everything. A deer, an antelope, an ostrich, a lizard, an alligator. I mean, some weird shit. Octopus. Me and my kids love octopus. Sushi. You telling me that that's weird to you eating a pig or some catfish?
Mm-mm.
Or even, and I wanted to bring this up last, but I'm gonna bring it up now. And I hate it. I stopped eating it. Shrimp. I love shrimp. But shrimp are the cousins and they are the cockroaches of the sea. Literally. They eat everything dead, the can and everything. Literally. You gotta think when you go ahead, Miss Kid, I didn't hear you.
I said they do. They eat everything. But see, to each his own. I just don't do it.
But again, think about it like this. Miss Kid, think about it like this. And I know it's hard, but see, if you know better, You do better. And I ain't talking no religion. Forget that Old Testament, New Testament stuff people like to bring in. A shrimp, when you buy from Kroger or wherever you shop it, literally has a vein of shit. I try not to cuss on this Keita show. I gotta say this now. But a shrimp has a vein of shit, not blood, of shit in it. You're supposed to remove it. And I guarantee, if somebody want to admit it, I guarantee at least 90+% of people on this podcast or in the world do not remove that string of shit when they cook their shrimp and eat it. So you're literally eating anything that shrimp ate. So what I'm getting at is if you actually think about what you're eating and not how you feel about it, you can't say some stuff is taboo, because I'd rather eat a dog who I know what a dog eat. If we talking scientifically, if we talking about morally, I'd rather eat a dog, a cat, a possum. Well, I don't know about a possum. The possum eats some shit too, but if you're comparing it to a pig or a shrimp or a catfish, health-wise, it's healthier to eat those animals than it is to eat the latter.
Yeah.
But because we are conditioned to think what is okay and what is not okay, and because what they say on TV and what we've been told is, oh, and here's one thing that maybe people have thought about, but I'm going to point out. The people telling us what we should or shouldn't eat, don't they love their dogs more than they love their own kids sometimes? Ooh, did I go there?
Here.
Did I go there? Did I go there? Did I go there, America?
Yes.
You know, we come from the people who tell us what we're supposed to eat. Oh, Fluffy gets spent thousands of dollars on to make sure Fluffy nails and hairs, and Fluffy get pushed in a cart at the grocery store. How dare you tell me Fluffy can't come on a plane? But then they tell their kids, I hate you. Or not even I hate you. That's not even that extreme. Oh, shut up and go in your room. Won't discipline them. You know, these are the future owners of companies and bosses. Or, you know, I get what I'm saying. But it's taboo to eat a dog because we're told, because matter of fact, I'm gonna leave it like this. Michael Vick got convicted of not fighting dogs. He served all. He had knowledge that they were dogs on his property, and the only reason he even got time like that is because America cares about their dogs.
Of course, it's their companion.
Boo-hoo, because they hunted with their dogs. The Vikings, the Europeans, our dogs helped us survive. We must love our dogs. Let's talk real. Let's talk reality. The Caucasus Mountain people love their dogs because it assisted them with living. We didn't need that. We had spears in the brain. So yeah, they're going to care a lot about their dogs because they needed their dogs. When in reality, people don't want to say it like this, and I love to point this out to people. I was just talking about it with a coworker at work, ironically. When you eat meat, any type of meat, steak, chicken, fish, whatever, it's flesh. It's literally flesh. That's what it is. You're eating the muscle tissue of any animal.
Right.
So what's the difference when you eat another animal other than the fact you was told it's taboo? Think about that.
I think we were mainly taught that it's taboo. Like I said, it's more legality here, and it's uncommon that you really don't see that here versus now that we do have more cultures here that do eat cats and dogs. They feel like it's still wrong. So I know. I'm just saying.
You said the word legality. You want me to go there?
Yeah. It says that's what it says. It's more legal.
In Ohio, one of these states. I hate misquoting, so bear with me, y'all. They just passed along one of these Midwestern states that is just now okay not to fornicate with an animal. So we talking legality. We talking about a state, a country who hanging a human being was legal. So if we're talking about laws just for this country about saying what's okay to eat, think about that. And I brought this up with Ms. Keita earlier. Legally, the USDA will allow a certain amount of hair, fecal matter, insects in your food that you buy at the grocery store, a certain amount. It is a fact. You can Google what I'm about to say. It was a country in Africa. Can't tell you the country. They were starving. The people were starving. America sent food. They said we'd rather starve than eat their food. A lot of countries, if you Google your cereal that you eat, they don't have the same cereal in other countries.
No,
What
they
I'm getting
don't.
at is we eat stuff here that is not even legally shouldn't even be legal for us to ingest, but because of money, they put it out here and we eat it. So for you to say you'll sit up here and eat chemicals and eat
Yeah,
pig
they,
and eat
they do.
coon, but then overseas you want to knock somebody for eating something that's naturally running around in their country, plentiful. Who's really the taboo one? I just want you to think
Yeah.
about that. And if anybody got a comment, I would
Well,
love.
are we right, or do you feel like we're right, or do you feel like the other cultures, other countries are
Thank you for
when it
asking
comes to
that.
eating stuff like that? Because, like I said, they eat that, but they didn't say anything about them eating pork or eating possums or eating any of that stuff.
I
So,
am I am going to answer like this. America is one of the youngest countries in the world. These other countries have been around for thousands, hundreds of years longer than us. They got to know something is right that we don't know. So we might call them a third world country simply because that's what we're told they are. But I'm going to leave it
mhm.
like this. I like to leave people thinking. It's 2024. I ain't seen a commercial in a while. I ain't going to lie to you. But when I was growing up, the only way you seen Africa was kids with flies flying around their head and there was malnutrition and they wanted you to donate $1. But if you go look on
They
right
still
now and look at countries in
they
Africa,
still
they
do it.
cities look better than us. They're cleaner than us. They have less crime than us.
Mhm, mhm.
The victor of the
That's all
war,
I see. That's what I heard. But that's all you still see on TV. Now they got the animals. They got the starving animals. They want you to donate to that too. So I just
Ricky,
have to.
you might want to read the comments. They lighten it up now.
I
Shoot,
know.
they
I see it.
lighten it up.
I see it. Okay, so we're going to talk about monogamy because we on here way past our time. But anyway, we're going to talk about taboo. You in the U.S. is a taboo for monogamy. I'm gonna break this down to y'all a little bit. They have the starving Jews. They do, and that's stuff that they don't talk about. They're not gonna let you know about the starving Jews. Um, they're
What a
gonna
real
have
Jew.
them,
I mean,
and
go ahead.
then they're gonna have that fact, but I feel like when the laws change and people actually come to reality, it's going to be more common here as it is in other countries, other cultures. A lot of the stuff that we do, I feel like when they take our money, they just take our money for their own benefits. Because I'm quite sure you had a lot of people that donated to the kids over in Africa, to even the animals. They probably get more donation than the kids over in Africa. But that's another topic. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. So anyway, we're talking about monogamy is a taboo here in the U.S. I did do it for people who don't know what monogamy is. And this is per se Google. It's a relationship where two people have an exclusive and intimate partnership with only one partner at a time. It can be sexual or emotional or both. So it can be practiced for life, or it can be a serial monogamy to where people repeatedly change. Hold on, I got to put my notes. Spouses in the U.S. Monogamy is a legal form of marriage. However, in other cultures, it is common to have multiple spouses. So now, I don't like this topic. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like. I'm gonna
But
just
it's a good one
say.
to talk about. It's interesting. It's
It's interesting,
good.
but I'm gonna just say for me, I only agree with one person. I don't agree with having multiples, and I don't agree with nothing open relationships. I don't agree with none of that. So, um,
I
One
asked you why.
person.
Tell your viewers, why do you believe that?
No, that's just me. It's
I
I
know, I
believe
know,
that
I know,
because
I know.
I feel like
I want you to tell your viewers why you believe in monogamy.
okay, just with me, period. I could say religion reasons why. I won't even really say religion because I don't go by religion. But as me being a Christian per se, I agree with just having one partner. But one is too many diseases out here to have multiple sexual partners that I disagree with. And it's plenty of people, but I just want my one person at the end of the day. I just want my one. I don't want to have multiple partners. I don't want to have to try to talk to any and everybody. So that's just me. I can't do all that. That's too much.
Now,
So
actually,
one
another
person.
question. Ask you another question. Do you believe that, again, religion and what has been posed to you by America's view of marriage plays a factor?
I would say now that with religion, I'll say with me being more in church and learning a lot more, I would say that played a well, it already played a factor before I even knew more about the Bible. I'll put it that way. So that's just how I always looked at it. I'm not even going to say um, America forced that on me. I can't say that because this is just what I wanted for myself. So I'm not going to say America forced this on me. This is what I seen growing up because that'd be a lie if I stood up there and tell you that. So it's just what I want for myself to just have one person. If they don't want to do that, then they need to move on to whoever else they want to sit up there and be with. But for me to have one person, and then even I know a lot of men, they will go back and convert to, oh, in the Bible, they had multiple partners and yada yada yada. They did it first. They did it first. When Jesus came and all that, it changed where and then even Paul, when he read it, he was like, you only supposed to have one person. One person. So it changed because it kept up a lot of mess. Like I said, it was a lot going on. And truth be told, you do have a lot of jealous women out here. You do. So at that point, yeah, that's just how I look at it. That's how I view it.
Before I say anything, I want all the world to know I'm a proud man to say I've never cheated on a woman. Never. Never. And I'm a man, I'm gonna tell you now, I can't, you cheat on me, I'm leaving you. I can't do the cheating thing.
I know that's right, reality checks.
Now, as far as America, I saw a video and I did just a little research. But the idea of monogamy in a marriage was created back in the back 1800s, whatever, 1900s, whatever, was for financial reasons and census reasons. It was. Okay, now as far as religion, as far as Christianity, I'm not gonna sit up here and tell no lie. I don't know if it was Old Testament or New Testament, but we know it was a certain man who was told, who had a wife who was faithful, to go out to another woman and have another child. I'm gonna leave it there. Now, as far as the world concerns, and let's take religion out. I don't like to discuss religion when it comes to things like this, but Shazard Ali, I think her name was. She's got a lot of things. Look her up. She talks about that. She talks about how if a man had a relationship with a woman, been cheating on you, catch him, and he's still happy, you still happy. We got to get over that. Da, 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 da. I don't want to misquote her. Y'all look it up. As far as the world, she's from America. As far as the world, again, America's one of the youngest countries. They've been doing things traditionally throughout the years. I just seen where one dude in Africa, one dude had 30 something wives, 96 something kids, and they all taken care of and all this stuff. Anything is possible underneath the sun. Anything is possible. Again, I'm not promoting men cheating. I just want to reiterate that. But if let's just say anything over 50% is the majority. So if 55% of the world is like men can have multiple wives, And let's just be fair, for sake of conversation at the moment. Women can have multiple husbands. Because I ain't one of them dudes. I ain't about to be on here. Well, you only talking about the men. The men, this. No, let's just say, it's a black chick right now. I don't know her name. It's on YouTube. She got like 3 husbands, and one dude came after 10 years and all this other stuff. I don't know her name, but I'm pretty sure somebody done seen who I'm talking about. But let's just even the battlefield. Men and women can both have multiples, one husband, one wife, and then they have all these extras. I'm not talking about toxicity or nothing. I'm going to simply say this. If 2 parties agree and have an understanding and nothing is wrong with their stuff, everything's cool, what's wrong with that? The problem I think people have with the world is, again, their perception of what reality is their reality. Anything outside of that is taboo as we're talking. It's wrong as we're talking. If most of the world don't have a problem with a man having a wife and concubines as they do in Asia and multiple women in Africa or Europe or whatever other countries, South America, whatever the countries are, Mexico, whatever, are we really wrong? If you want to break it down scientifically,
you and this science.
I mean, I'll be trying to hit all the angles, because a person will come back and say, well, this. Well, that's emotional. And everybody's emotions and opinions are correct. Right. I'm going to say that again. Everybody's emotions and opinions are correct. But that don't make them right. But scientifically, if we break things down to molecular structure, men are made to produce. Women are made to carry and bear. Women are made to multiply. Now then you break into morality, and that breaks into emotionality. Women are emotional creatures. But I'm gonna say this, and I ain't gonna be done. But I tell you what, in America, what I see is when a man got money and create a lifestyle for a woman that she wants, she tolerates a whole bunch of different stuff.
She do.
And goes against her own self-respect or moral compass to allow a man to have those multiple women and multiple kids. And even if he ain't got money, if he doing something right, she'll deal with it. So before you answer y'all in the comments, before you get religious or whatever with it, let's talk facts. We got Pookie and Ray Ray's, and then we got guys like Mr. Rock. And guess who usually wins in that conversation? Then Pookie and Ray Ray. Until a woman reaches a level of emotional maturity, and it's usually later in her 40s and 50s, after the kids have been born, let's really talk about it. When you're young and you're supposed to, quote unquote, by the Bible or worldly standards, be fruitful, multiplying, and get married and all that, a lot of women will deal with a man. Because I tell you right now, I'm sorry. If most of y'all women see Chris Brown, boy, look here. I don't care if you're married, single, got kids, or whatever. If Chris Brown wants you and you get pregnant and want to have a baby by Chris Brown, you're going to have that baby. And you're going to be proud of Chris Brown. Matter of fact, before it was Chris Brown, it was Sidney Poitier. Before it was between Sidney Poitier and Chris Brown, it was somebody. I don't know.
Nobody wants Sidney Poitier. He's all right.
Look back. Go ask Auntie. Where Auntie at?
She probably out here looking, but I don't know about that one.
Sidney Poitier was the man. I'm just saying. Like, I tell you another one. He came out before. I ain't gonna say he did. I don't put that on. But what is his name? He was on the Jerry Curl box. He promoted St. Ives. He was in Star Wars the movie. The guy with his little S curl. I can't remember his name. He was every woman's man back then, and every woman wanted to be with him. He came out and said he was bisexual. He was gay. Actually, he said he was gay. Then he was like, "Well, I'm bisexual." Quincy Jones admitted he was bisexual. These are men that women coveted. And I'm not getting to their sexual realm. What I'm trying to get at is women will make a conscious decision knowing that a man's living a certain lifestyle, but because they want to be with that man, they'll tolerate stuff.
They will tolerate it. And I would say to each his own. Reality checks, I agree with you. I only believe in God's angle. That's right. Chris Brown is okay, but he's not my type either, Keita.
What? But again, in the Bible, it said what? That's God's angle. He told, I don't know the dude's name. I ain't trying to be funny. Because I don't like to misquote nothing but no religion or nothing like that. But whatever his wife was, they was old. She couldn't have no kids. He said, go out and make a baby.
You talking about Abraham? No, he didn't tell him to do that though. You talking about Abraham and Sarah? That was on Sarah, and it was other people in the Bible, even with even with his kids. Even
it was on Sarah. He gave Sarah the choice, right?
Sarah was like, "Oh, I can't have kids.
Go have one.
Go mate with her, with my handmaid, my servant, and have babies by her." And that's what he did, and she was jealous.
But
he listened to his wife. He didn't want to do it. He listened to his
wife. Point exactly. That's my point.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So,
but she didn't leave him. She didn't leave him.
No, because he stuck with his wife. Guess who left? Hagar and her son. This year. They left. They got put out. So,
but hey, he still went to do and had that baby.
I already said, this is not what I told you to do. I told you you was gonna have a child. And that's why he blessed Isaac. Because that was the one that he stood up and said, I told you you're gonna have a child. Yeah, she probably didn't realize it. She probably didn't think, like, I'm 99. I ain't have no kids. And she didn't trust.
Hold on. She didn't trust in the Lord.
Her faith wasn't there. Her faith wasn't all the way there. But that's okay. We all go through that. So,
but you can't hold it against Abraham. She held it against Abraham. She said, I told you to go out here, have this baby, but come back, bring the baby home, and we're going to raise it, and you want to show her some attention. Now, hold on now. Now, she got to go. But hold on, I deal with any married man does. I listen to my wife, and I got to deal with these problems because I listen to my wife, and she didn't listen to, she did whatever she did and said what she said, who she heard it from. Mm-hmm. But you can't deal with the consequences. That ain't Abraham's fault, but he caught the slack from it. That ain't cool.
Yeah. So it still goes on to this day. You like, I can't do this. I ain't having no kids. I'm not that one though. If I can't have none, I ain't about to sit up until you go mess with such to have a baby. No. If I need a surrogate, we're gonna work on all this together.
Let me ask you this. What do you think the majority women, like right now, 2024, age range, we're not even gonna count them 20-year-olds. That's a whole nother no. Let's say 30 to 40. What percentage of women you think, Ms. Keita, if he has a great financial status, that is a factor. What percentage of women you think will accept him stepping out and having a kid by another woman? If it's over 50, it's majority.
If it's over 50, no, I'm not going to say over 50. I would say a good 15-20% of women probably would agree with that.
Would you like to ask the audience what they think?
What y'all think? What y'all think on that?
Everybody
did. Now that's one. Billy D. Williams. Billy
D. Williams. That's his name. Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Billy D. He's the one that came out and said after all them years he was bisexual / gay. He said it.
Did he?
He said, see your reaction. See your reaction.
I didn't know he said that. Lord have mercy.
You can Google it.
We talking about Hollywood again.
Hey, don't matter. All the women loved him.
They did. But we talking about Hollywood again.
How many women back in the day would have said, "Ooh, I have a baby by Billy D"?
Yeah, they love Billy D.
That's my point. That is strictly my point. And again, I'm going to ask the audience, please chime in. And the question is, with financial stability, success, create the lifestyle that you dream, basically with the finances, what percentage from 30 to 40 right now will be okay with a man having a baby by another woman in a relationship, whether it's marriage or a girlfriend, a strong girlfriend, boyfriend, engaged, going towards that. Not just we messing around. I would love to see people comment.
Yeah, you're right, Monica. It has came out and they are fighting for our rights to even try to get the serial changed like it's over in Europe and stuff. They trying to get it changed like over there. And we need to, because a lot of it, we didn't know that it had all the toxins in there. I'm glad my kids, even though I only got the one baby girl, she probably about the only one that would probably eat some cereal, but I don't give her the cereals that they have on the list, if anything. So
you know how bad it is, mosquito.
I know.
I learned and did some research because I grew up on hot cereal. I didn't grow up on cold cereal. The
Yeah.
only cold cereal I had growing up, other than King Vitamin, which is my favorite that I remember. I ain't gonna say my mother didn't buy nothing else. Do anybody remember Wheats? Not many Wheats. Wheats.
Mm-hmm.
Wheats. Raisin Bran.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the cereals I grew up on. I eat old people cereal. I grew up on grits,
Me
oatmeal,
too.
and cream of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a cousin say, "You eat porridge?" I said, "What's porridge?"
Yeah, that's that old stuff for real.
But porridge back in the day was grits.
Mm-hmm.
So I discovered oatmeal is bad for you. Oatmeal soaks up when it's being planted and all that stuff and growing. It soaks up all the chemicals, and then when they refine it and you eat it, you're eating all the chemicals. So we can't even eat oatmeal no more.
Oh wow. And I just had a bowl of oatmeal today.
See what I'm saying? Miss Love said, I would say a good 30% sad, but some women will definitely be okay with that. Shaking my head. See what I'm saying? Now she said 30.
You're right, because
she's the
they
only
don't even have to
responsible.
have money or anything. Half of them okay with them going out doing whatever they need to do anyway. So that's right.
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, and again, I want to reiterate, I'm not okay with men cheating. I'm not okay with women cheating. I'm not okay with nobody cheating on nobody. If you feel like you got to cheat in a marriage, relationship, or whatever, leave them.
Mm-hmm.
I promote that. If you feel like you got to that point for whatever reason, leave that person.
Leave them. Yes.
But if you're gonna stick with them, don't hold that person. Don't be mad at that person. Don't be holding it together. Like I say, like it's Tony Braxton, mom and them on the show said it best. She said, and I hope I quote this right, and I quote: "If that man cheat, let him cheat in peace and let him deal with God.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't going nowhere, let him cheat. Don't give him no stress. Let him deal with God. He got to deal with his mate because you choosing to stay with him." On Fences, one of the few movies that made me cry. It dropped a tear from my eye. There's only two movies that made me almost cry. One movie that almost made me cry. One movie made me cry. Fences was one of them. He brought that baby home at the end and said, "I'm gonna ask you. I know I ain't right, but can you help me take care of this child? This child don't know no better. It ain't nothing against her." Basically, I seen the movie. If you did, and if you didn't, he basically told his wife. He told his wife, "This child don't know nothing." And she said yes, because at the end of the day, she did love her husband and she wasn't gonna leave him. But she basically said, "Nigga, you gonna own up to this shit."
Mm-hmm.
So when a woman wants to be with a man for whatever reason, and he go out and make some babies, and like I said, these extra concubines and all that, if you ain't gonna leave, I mean, shit. Excuse my language, but it is what it is. And now with that, I'm gonna segue to this, and I want you to touch on this, Miss Keita, for your audience, from a lady's perspective. It's plenty of times women that went out there and had babies, and Papa ain't the daddy.
It's plenty that has babies. Yeah. Papa ain't the daddy. You seen that video I sent you earlier about how the people were getting locked up for child support, and the child ain't even theirs. So it's getting deep out here. But anyway, like Mr. Island said, leave them. If it is a situation like that, leave them. Don't even stay in it. If you do decide to stay, ain't no need to complain. Deal with what you're dealing with. But that's only if you against it. I know a lot of people that are okay with it and they deal with it. Ain't no need to be trying to fight. None of that. If you decide you're going to stay with this man because he's not going to change, you cannot change him. You decide to stay with him, just keep your mouth shut and deal with what comes with the consequences that comes behind it. Even when it comes to the child, now that situation, that's a hard pill to swallow. I don't think I'll be able to do it. But anyway, I will have to leave at the end of the day. Reality checks. You said Cheerios. I just found out they said even Cheerios are bad as well.
One of the worst. Excuse me, Miss. Excuse me.
I found out it's bad for you.
Reality. Let me check in for you real quick. Cheerios is one of the worst cereals on the market. And yes, trigger moment. That is one of the cereals my grandfather had us eating as a kid that he ate. I remember at one point he stopped. Like I said, it was bran and all that stuff. Cheerios, because they said it was good for your heart. He had a pacemaker.
Yeah.
But I found out Cheerios is one of the worst cereals.
Yep. I just found that out. And they promote that on the box though. It's good for your heart. They need to quit that.
They also promote milk is good for your bones, and it actually gives you osteoporosis and weakens your bones. And I'm gonna touch on oh crap, I lost my train of thought. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Keita. I'm sorry. I hope it come back to me.
She said that was a real life situation for her.
Oh, that's what it was. When we leave this conversation, I would promote everybody, every male, female in this group chat, talking about the having the extra kids and stuff. Listen to Life Jennings' song off his first album, 1730, 17632, something like that. Listen to his song hypothetically. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that's true. It wasn't her fault. And I top my hat off for you for staying to help him with the child. Oh yeah. I don't eat it. I don't eat cereal. Like I said, I was eating oatmeal, and I guess I got to get away from that now. But that was one of my main things that all I eat now anyway. And I don't drink milk. I did try to do the almond milk, and now I got the plant-based milk, which I got that now.
Ms. Keita, it's all GMO.
I know. I read it. I seen the video of it because they was trying to tell me like what milk to get. I did save a little video. I just ain't even look back at it though.
I went and got some almond milk.
I really stay away from it, but if I try to drink anything, I'll try to go to that.
Yes, reality still oats too. Anything oatmeal, oats soak up when they're planting oats and they're growing the pesticides that they grow. Oats are one of the. Look at an oat. A oat. If you look at an oat, actually what it is before they refine it, it's fluffy, it's fat, and all that. It soaks up all the chemicals and stores them. It's oatmeal. I mean, if you look at oatmeal in a box, if you pour water or anything, it soaks it up. So all those chemicals that they pour on it, it soaks it up. They don't leave. And so when they refine it, it's still there. Then when they add to whatever they add to it to make it oatmeal for you, then you're eating it with your milk. And even if you boil it with water, what do most black folks do to make their oatmeal and grits and all that creamy? We add milk. I digress.
Yeah. So, alrighty. So we are in a little bit further than expected, but it's okay. It was a good topics today. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all comments. The ones that have came in, please make sure y'all hit the like button. We will be back next week. Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Island. I thank you so much for even joining me on the show today and all the knowledge that you gave out to the people today. Thank you so much. Like he said, don't forget to check him out on 2 Code. When he did you could explain it again before you go. But thank you all for coming in. Thank you for tuning in. Everybody, thank you so much. You can explain it to him. Tell him the name of it again.
Well, first I want to say, everybody, please pass the word, like, subscribe, and share Miss Keita, keeping it real with Keita, and comment and jump in the conversation. Your opinions are respected. But yes, please subscribe, like, share, chime in, tell your friends every Tuesday, 8:00. Put it out there. We talk about some real things. As far as the Pop the Balloon episode 15, I do want it to be the most biggest episode, because what I've read from the comments, what I've been told, and what I've been feeling and getting reactions from in the city is the best episode. He's a young black man, just trying to come up through the internet here in Indianapolis. If you go to YouTube, type in 2 Code Pop the Balloon, it'll pop up. Subscribe to him too. Share, like, share. Episode 15, you'll see me on there. It is good entertainment. If my cousin is still on here, just I don't know, put a 1, a high five or something. but everybody know it is good if you still on here. Um, Miss Reality, I seen that still on stick.
Pick me. We're gonna call him Mr. Pick
Oh,
Me.
oh, she seen it. Oh, you seen it. Pick me.
We're gonna call him Mr. Pick Me. Okay, so even letting them know what it is, can you tell them like it's like a dating show, or let the people know like what it is?
Okay, so Pop the Balloon is something that's very viral right now. It's very popular. It's like the new dating show. You go on there, whether it's men or females. So we'll just use my show as an example. They had like 9 men lined up. It was a Halloween edition. We were all dressed in costumes. Women were dressed in costumes. They come out one at a time. You can pop your balloon for any reason that you're not wanting to find love with that woman. And so it's kind of harsh. It's you know, it, the pop the balloons I've seen, people be like on there talking about your Air Force Ones ain't all white. They look off white. Like anything goes. But with his show, and this is why I promote him so much, he's very respectful. He tells everybody be respectful, and it's not a lot of disrespect going on. And it's very tactful. Our episode, like I said, people said it was one of the best, it was the best episode they seen. The women were beautiful, good personalities. The men were, you know, good men and handsome men. They actually said, "Oh, this is one of the handsomest lineups you had." Miss Reality, since you on here, if you don't mind adding your little piece before we get off real quick, because I know we over time. Throw a little something in there, to make everybody go watch it. Because, like I said, I'm big on promoting. But it is a good show. It's a dating show, and instead of having the shows we had back in the day where you went on TV, this is the new thing, and this young man is doing a good job, and I just want to support him, and that's it, And Miss Keita, I'll tell you what, you know how our time frame went. I meant to tag him and share with him. I don't have his personal phone number, but by the time the show started, I couldn't tag him, and I would love for him to be on here to see this. But I would love everybody to just go and check it out. Check it out. And yes, I do want my show to be the biggest. So I'm not just saying that just supporting him. I do want to actually say like our episode was a good episode. So and I think I did something I was told by a cousin of mine. He said, "Man, you don't understand. You might have put NAP on the map for Pop the Balloon. So if that's not enough for you to be interested in saying it or seeing it, seeing it, then you might want to go watch it." Oh, reality said, I said that gotta be him. But yes, please like and share and subscribe to Miss Keita. Tell all your friends about it. We do this every Tuesday. Wonderful topics. Auntie wasn't with us tonight, but
she'll be back.
It's all good and healthy. All opinions are welcome. There's no judgment here. I met Miss Keita going to a Black Expo, and she was literally the second person I met walking into the health fair. I had to sign in, and I met her. And this is how we met. I literally signed up, being me, being talkative, just talking, and she said, "I would love to have you on my podcast." And I've been rocking with her ever since because she's real. Miss Keita is real. Yep. So I want y'all to support her. I want y'all to share her. I want y'all to like her. I want y'all to subscribe to her. I want y'all to tell y'all friends and family on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. If you ain't in Bible study, you ain't doing nothing, you got an hour to spare, tune in. Healthy dialogue. And we as a culture need to learn how to start supporting each other and promoting each other. So if you like what you see, help Miss Keita out.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for that, Mr. Island. Thanks to everybody for coming in. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video out. If you have seen this video, share it out to your family, friends, whoever. Just share the video out. If you have any comments after we are off this live, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the topics for today. And once again, like I said, thank you. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Y'all have a wonderful night. It's going on 10. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Island. Thanks to my audience. Thanks, Reality Checks, Miss Love, Monica, and Keisha. Thank you all for coming in. I can't see the names no more than I'm past, but thank y'all all for coming in. Thanks. Have a good night.